how to go from defense to offense within your business so that way you can make more money each month. So as you know, I'm really big into sports, so basketball, football, and things like that. And if you watch a lot of sports, you know what it's like when you see a team that's up by 10 or 12 or whatever it is in the fourth quarter. What tends to happen is the team goes very conservative, and as a result, they don't take as many shots, risk, and things like that because they're trying to protect the lead. But when that happens, and you may have seen this a few times, the teams end up actually losing. The team that was winning, they actually end up losing because they started to be so conservative. And when the other team kept keeping their foot on the gas and their foot on their necks, they actually weren't able to basically like go back into overdrive, pick things back up, get back into the groove or to the flow of the game because they slowed down. And we've seen this a lot. And me, I'm a Jets fan, so we know a lot about losing. And at times we actually are very rarely up in four quarters, but that's all going to change this year because we have Aaron Rodgers. But nonetheless, if you watch sports, you've seen teams get up really big in the fourth quarter and they start to play a little conservative and end up losing that game. And what I've seen with people in their businesses, they actually act in the same way, where they actually are doing well in their business or just good enough to where they feel like, you know what, I'm good. I don't need to change anything and I'll keep everything the same. And when that happens, you can actually risk losing your lead or going under as a business because businesses are constantly reinventing and innovating themselves. And we want to make sure that we're keeping up with the times. And as you know, with AI and all this new stuff that's coming out, you have to be on your P's and Q's. You can actually use AI with your business and not allow it to replace your business, if you will. But that's only if you know how to use AI, but also if you're actually going out there and being aggressive with researching and, collecting that knowledge, if you will. So within this podcast, I'm going to give you 5 ways that you can go from defense within your business to offense so that way you can make more money each month. So the first point that I'm going to make is the defensive point. So the way you may be playing defense within your business right now, as I mentioned, you're keeping everything the same. You're keeping your copy the same, your marketing the same, your techniques the same, all that stuff you're keeping as is simply because it's working. And where we are in life right now is not good enough just for things to be working, but you need to be constantly reinventing yourselves, as I mentioned. So the way you can go from that defense to offense is to first figure out what the next level in your business looks like. Again, things are great. So for instance, you may be making 6 figures on the dot, right? 100 grand each year. I would ask you, how can you go from 100 grand to 150 or maybe even 200? What things would I have to reinvent, right? For me personally, I increased my prices a lot this year. Because of that, I had to change a lot of the ways that I was marketing. Now, with the way that I was marketing previously, it garnered a certain demographic, and that was great for a time being. But I wanted more. I got a little, let's say, bored, if you will. Even though I love what I do, I felt a little bored, and I felt like, you know what? There's another demographic of people that I want to work with, and there's a subset of problems that I absolutely love working with. So I went out there and I'm getting those people. But to do that, I had to change things up. And because of that, I'm on pace to make more money this year than I made last year. But I had to know what that next level looked like. So that's why you have to start off with a goal. And once you have that goal, you have to create a plan of action to execute on that goal. So first, figure out what that next stage looked like. And then let's start to experiment. Experiment with different copy on your website, on your ads, whatever it is that you're using. And let's see if we can garner a higher ROI, better conversion rates, all those things. So that's how you can go from defense to offense within your business. All right, second, and I was bad at this, okay? I'm not gonna lie. Like the second point I struggled with, and now I'm seeing the benefits of getting out of this. So the second point I want to make is that the defensive point, right? The way you're playing defense within your business right now is that you're doing everything yourself. You're not delegating anything because you have a scarcity mindset. You're trying to protect your bottom line. And you know that if you give that money away for that first month, or let's say first week, whatever it is, hey, things may not work. You may find yourself losing money. But that's okay. Why? Because again, with the first point we made, we want to experiment. We want to test things out. And if you want, you can copy your pages. So copy your website, copy your landing page, copy your copy, all that stuff. You can copy it and use it as what we call the control, meaning that if anything else, we're going to go back to this and we're going to revamp things up again, right? It's kind of like experimenting. You have the control, which you keep everything the same. And then you have the experiment group where you're going to add the new stimulus, the new substance or whatever it is that you're adding that's new. You're going to add that so you can test it, if you will. Now, again, if you're finding yourself having a scarcity mindset and you're doing everything yourself, I want you to know that you're handicapping your business. It's great to be able to do everything yourself up to a certain point. And for a lot of people, when they're making, let's just say 6 figures on the dot again, right? A lot of people are able to do that on their own. But to be able to go to the stages of where you're making, let's say 7 figures, 8 figures, a lot of people in those stages, not everybody, but a lot of those people, you have to hire teams, right? You have to hire a team of people to help you to whether it's build a sales funnel, build your copy, do your content, like so many different things. And it has to require you paying up. You have to find a team. So I would tell you to delegate. Now, the way you go to offense within your business with this one, start off small, guys. I'm going to tell you, go to Fiverr or go to Upwork and find someone you can hire to, let's say, do a Facebook image or to do podcast editing. It can be a lot of things. It can be even be creating a logo if that's what you feel that you need. Test it out. Save yourself those 2 to 3 hours and focus on more higher money generating activities, if you will. Things that's going to bring in the dollars. All right, so that's step number 2, how you can go from defense to offense. You got to stop doing everything yourself, and you got to delegate to other people. That's going to help you out a lot. Number 3, another way that I see people playing defense within their business is that they have a skill set, and it's a good skill set, and it's getting them results. So it's like, well, why change the skill set? Well, here's the thing, guys. To be great at what you want to do, you have to be constantly reinventing yourself. Something that I used to write on my window every morning, or not every morning, but I had it on my window, was this. Today, Steph Curry went to basketball practice. I also said, today, Denzel Washington went to acting classes. Today, LeBron James went to basketball practice. So you may be asking yourself, why did I write these things? Well, I want to show you that even though these guys are the absolute best at what it is that they do, they still go to practice. So if LeBron is still practicing, if Steph Curry is still practicing 3-point shots, what does that say about you and your skill set? If you're not, and I don't know who's listening to this podcast, but Steph Curry is elite. He is the best ever. And I don't know if you're the best ever in your craft, but even if you were, I would tell you that you still need to practice. So just because you're good at what you do doesn't mean that you cannot become great. There's also a book, I haven't read this, but I just know the title. It's called From Good to Great. And what I want you to do is take that mindset with your professional development and personal development. And the way you go from defense to offense, I want you to find a coach. I want you to find someone that can teach you how to become better at what it is that you already do. And maybe there's some other areas in your business, in your professional life that you're maybe that just kind of like so, if you will. You do okay in. Hire someone, get them to help you with this. And I want you guys to be what I like to call curious. Be curious about how good you will be, how much money you'll be able to make, or how many lives you'll impact if you were to master storytelling, if you were to master marketing, if you were to master sales calls or cold calling or relationship building. Be curious how good or how different things would be for you if you just mastered that one skill. If you took 1 year and you just absolutely dedicated all your time to it. Be curious, and that's a great way to go from defense, where you just simply being good and you allowing things to just be as it is, and how you go to offense by getting a coach. Taking courses is another great one, and even reading. These are great ways to go and further your skill set. All right, point number 4. You may find yourself having a scarcity mindset within your business. And this kind of goes to what I was mentioning earlier, but I'm going to add a little twist to it. So a lot of people may play defense within their business by not spending more money to test out things, to test out new programs, maybe even hire a coach, as I mentioned, whatever the case it may be. And a great way to go to offense is by investing more, right? Whether it's in different channels, or let's say you're increasing the amount of money that you're spending each month, because when you put in $5, you're able to get back 10 or 20. Well, if that's the case, let's see what happens if we put $1,000 in. Are we able to get $5,000 back in our revenue? If so, let's go about it. You have to be aggressive in your spending. And this goes back to sports, where if you're in the fourth quarter, and let's say it's only a minute left, and let's say we're playing basketball, it's the fourth quarter, it's a minute left, and you're up by 5, you don't need to just stop shooting. You need to still run your plays. Because if not, you're going to find yourself taking a bad shot with 3 seconds left on the shot clock, and now the other team goes down and score, and now you're only up maybe 2 or maybe 3 points. So be aggressive in your spending. I would definitely tell you not to go in the red, but figure out ways where you can get your money to work for you rather than you working for your money. And here's the 5th point. I absolutely love this one. This was a game changer. Shout out to Alex Hormozi, Russell Brunson, and so many other famous marketers out there, because they make a real good point with this one. So one way you may be finding yourself playing defense within your business is that you're selling what everybody else is selling, right? So if someone sells, let's say, soaps through Facebook marketing or whatever, or let's say someone's selling, let's say, a course on focus, right? It's just as plain as that, right? Like, I'm selling a course about building focus. There's so many courses like that, so many courses about telling you how to create a new business, or how to make money by selling, or all this other stuff, right? It's already out there. And if you catch yourself playing defense selling what they're selling, you're not going to get too far, because they're just going to go to the very best, if you will, right? And here's 2 things, actually. They're going to go to the very best, or they're going to go to the very cheapest. And I don't know about you, but I don't like working with the cheap folk, right? Nothing against cheap people, but the mindset behind those people I find to be very different when I'm coaching them. So to go from defense in that situation to offense, I want you to find a unique selling proposition, meaning find a way that you can be different from everybody else that's in your field. When you do that, people will start throwing money at you because you are the only option. There is no number 2. There is no cheaper option. It's you or bust. So that's a great way to go to offense. And if you do that one, it would definitely change your whole life. And that's something that I'm working on right now. As a therapist, not too many people are focused on working with entrepreneurs, but also not too many of them are focusing on working with entrepreneurs, with building their confidence, and using a method called acceptance to do that. That's something that I'm specialized in. And if you find yourself needing that, who else are you going to go to? I don't know if there's too many people out there. There may be some, but I don't know if I ever come across them. So those are some great ways that you can go from playing defense within your business to offense. And it'll help you to increase the amount of revenue that you're making, but also it'll save you time as well. So this is Coach Wells. I'm a licensed therapist. I'm also a high performance coach. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. I would love to hear from you guys. And if you comment, please let me know what you would love for me to talk about, because this will help me to guarantee I give you an episode just for you. All right, guys. I'll see you later.